I still get up in the morning and I look in the mirror and I see a 350-pound fat guy standing in front of me. That's never gonna go away. That's ingrained in my mind because that's what I see and that's how my mind works. This place tells me that's a lie. My name's David Jablon. I've been doing CrossFit, I believe, for a little bit over 5 years now. When I first started, I was before I started, going back a little bit about my backstory, I was 350 pounds when this journey began. I did go in for bariatric surgery, and after the bariatric surgery, the surgeon told me that it was just a stopgap. It was just something that would stop the eating, so this way I would be able to do something, and he told me if I didn't do something and change my ways, I would just put the weight back on. I had realized at that point that there was no going back for me, that if I was gonna go back to food, that I was gonna end up being 400, 500, 600 pounds, and I dropped at any time. So at that point, after the surgery, I did what he told me to do exactly. I followed his suggestions, and I slowly, but over a little bit of time, I regained my strength. When I first started the journey, at that weight, I was so weak that I couldn't even get on a treadmill, I couldn't run, I couldn't really do much of anything. I was sitting in my chair in my house, and I have 2 little boys. And my boys were playing on the floor, and they asked me to join them. I couldn't do it. I could not physically get on the floor and play with them. And one of my kids had said something to me about me being fat. You know, kids are brutally honest, and he wasn't being mean, but he made a comment. And I looked at my boys, and then I looked at myself in the mirror, and I really, you know, when you're that heavy, I put on a mask and I pretended that I didn't see what I saw. It's very easy to do that. So I saw something else. Like these pictures, I have pictures of my before and I look at these pictures and I cannot believe that that was me. Even when I was in that state, I never saw that. So when my kids brought it to my attention, I realized I couldn't play with them. And I'm physical, I'm a contractor, so I do kitchen and bathroom installs. So I'm physically moving. On jobs, I couldn't get up ladders, I couldn't bend down, I couldn't fit inside cabinetry. Or when I was working, my clothes would be falling down. I gotta worry about pulling my because I don't want to embarrass myself or gross somebody out. And I was just trapped in my own body. I was a prisoner. And I didn't want to feel that way. I wanted to understand what it was like to feel, I wanted to feel better, period. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to be able to interact with my children. I wanted to be able to work and function better in the real world. I lost an initial 70, 80 pounds, and once I had done that, I was able to physically do some kind of exercise. I had gone to a local gym that was cheap, and I went in and I started on a treadmill, and then I went to a Stairmaster, and then they had this little circuit training thing that was like 30 minutes, and I would do it. And I did that for about 6 months until my strength came back. CrossFit of Boynton Beach was already here, and I had been in this facility probably about 4 years prior to this. And I had remembered my experience when I was here then. And I had just done a walk-on class and I walked in and I just remember being here. When I came, I remembered that it was very attractive to me. I liked the grittiness, I liked the rawness of it. I liked that people were there to really work out and train. They weren't there to meet people and everybody just let it out. And if I needed help and I had a question, you weren't afraid to approach anybody or ask. So that stuck with me all this time. And when I got bored at this gym, I came back to CrossFit of Boynton Beach. And when I walked into this facility, it was a lot different. It was flipped around at that time. Alex had changed it a lot since then, but when I walked in, it was a Saturday class. Denise was the instructor at the time. And I remember I walked in and everybody's dropping the barbells and banging the floor. And I looked at her, I said, you're not supposed to do that. I mean, I've lifted weights my whole life in a gym, and if you did that in a conventional gym, they'd throw you out. She said, no, it's a little different here. And you know, I didn't know how to do push-ups, pull-ups, handstand push-ups. I didn't know how to do clean, snatches, front squats. I couldn't do any of those kind of movements. I ended up, when I came here, what was one of the most incredible things that I experienced here was when I was here and I didn't know how to do something, I was given an alternative. They scaled the workouts personally to me. They watched me out of the corner eye, and if I did something incorrectly, then they would correct me, but not in a rude way and not in an arrogant way, in a coaching way. I found that the instructors here are more coaches, not instructors. They're not teachers, they are true coaches. They know how to coach, they know how to motivate and move you forward. I have been in and out of gyms my entire life. I've been pushing barbells my whole life. I've been up and down the scales. I've been in shape. I've been out of shape. I can tell you this, at the age of 52, I've never been in this kind of shape that I am now, and I owe it all to CrossFit. Boynton Beach, when I was coming here and I was working out here, I met Alex, the owner of this place. And I understood why this place was the way it is, because it's it's him to a T. If you look at Alex, the gym is his personality. And there's something so attractive to that the words don't explain it. He's a very, if you know him, you'll understand he's very welcoming, he's very friendly, he's very open-minded, he's not afraid to help you out. If you have a question, he'll stop what he's doing, he'll help you out. He's that kind of guy. He's just a very nice, kind, giving guy, and he likes to give back. And he always made me feel welcome. Even when I didn't want to come, and I did come, he made me feel welcome. I treat this place like, I'm in recovery, and I have a certain amount of time clean. Over 15 years clean, and I treat CrossFit of Boynton Beach is almost like a meeting for me. It's a therapeutic place for me to come. It's a place that I can come, and when I get here, the one thing about it is, your workouts are always different, okay? If you can't do it, there's something you can do. If you don't know how, you will learn. If you continue to show up and put the effort in, you will get better. You cannot. You will ultimately get better at what you do. And what I liked about this was it gave me the same feeling, that family feeling that I had when I would go to my meetings. And I was welcomed at a meeting. When I came here and I walked in, no matter who was here, I was always welcome. Say hello. I earned the respect of the fellow memberships and the coaches. And I was, how do I say it? I guess I was sucked in. And even though I don't compete on a regular basis and I don't do all the extracurricular activities with the gym, I'm still part of. And I've never been part of something like that. And I don't think it's like that at other affiliates. I don't hear about that, because I have plenty of friends that go to other gyms and they don't talk about it like they do here. And I can tell you this, no matter, even in my worst of worst days, the days that I don't want to come, I get in my head, I don't want to do this no more, I'm tired, I got other things to do, I think I made it, I'm okay, I don't need to go, I still come anyway. I find myself still coming, because when I come here, I get fulfilled. Well, so I was suggested to compete, okay? Alex himself said I should. And understand, I've never been an athletic person. I played some football when I was a young kid, but because of my journey, I was not good enough to stay on a team, so my grades didn't keep me in play. So I never got involved with sports. I was always the guy that was picked last. Okay, let's put it that way. So I never had any raw talent that I knew of. So I said, you know what, let me try this. Let me see what this is like. I started out, there was a competition, Sea Dog was my first competition I did. And I did it with Jeremy, he's no longer with us, he was another instructor here. We did a team competition, and when I did it, I loved it. And I really enjoyed it. I couldn't do all the movements, but I just liked the atmosphere. There was something about it that I really enjoyed. After that was done, then I got ready for Bacon Beattown, Mid-Coast Atlantic competition. And my son, who at that time was 10, I had him training with Jamie, and I wanted him to do it as well, which he did. So the two of us went there, and we competed. My son didn't, and he did very well, actually. And the only thing I could say, and this is a big part of what makes CrossFit so incredible, is my first WOD, the first competition I had there, I went up a rope, and I blew out my shoulder. I tore my shoulder to shit. Now, my shoulder was already hurt, I knew it, but I knew something bad had happened. I finished the competition, although I wanted to quit, everybody kept telling me, says, listen, you're fucked. You might as well continue forward, finish it. Because if you don't finish, do the best you can, you're gonna regret it. And I agreed with them. So I did the best I could. I came home, sure enough, I went to a surgeon, I had a full tear in my shoulder, and he said, you need to be under a knife in 4 days. The only thing I could think of when he said that, I can't come to CrossFit Boynton Beach, because he said I couldn't train for 6 months. I said, how am I gonna not do CrossFit? And so, because it was such a staple. I came here 5-6 days a week. It was routine. I just automatically drove here. 3 o'clock, I'd come and sit in the parking lot till they opened, took a 3:30 class, maybe stayed a little bit later. That was my daily routine. How am I not gonna be able to do that? And that's the only reason why I was afraid of the surgery. And the only thing that made me have the surgery was the surgeon said, if you wait any longer, it's gonna get worse. Sure enough, he did his job. I got the surgery done. I went on a Thursday for the scans. That Monday, I was under the knife. So I came home the next day, And I'm sitting and I'm in a sling and I'm in pain and I'm freaking because I don't know what, I can't use I have no mobility. And the surgeon had told me that it's all about the recovery. He's like, it's all about your rehab. I've done a wonderful job. The surgery went perfect. Everything went the way it was supposed to be. You are perfect. If you do your rehab, you will recover. So I took his suggestions, and the first person I called was Alex. Alex, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna stay away? He's like, be here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I got you. And I'm thinking, what the hell could he have me do? I can't use my upper body. I really couldn't even use my body because I can't put any stress. I can tell you this, the bike ERG, I cannot stomach that machine. I lived on that machine for 6 months, and Alex programmed me 5 days a week, and he made every workout different on the same machine. I don't know how that's possible, but he did. And I would come in and I would sit on that bike, and it was such bittersweet because I was sitting on that bike, smelling it, hearing it, seeing everybody's lifting weights, and I so much wanted to do that, and I couldn't do it. But I knew I was still here. And I just kept coming back, and everybody kept, hey, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I kept doing the do, and then eventually I got off the bike and I was able to do my box steps, and the sling came off, and here I am now, better than I've ever been. This shoulder's never been, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking about doing the other one because it came out so good. But I'll never forget that, I'm gonna say that Alex and CrossFit Boy and B saved my life, because if I didn't have this place for 6 months, meetings wasn't gonna be enough for me. I needed something more. And what he had done for me was he showed me something that I've never experienced before in any kind of business or any kind of club I was involved with other than my fellowship. He showed me the kindness, and he extended to me help that normal people don't do. And I will tell you something, I'm indebted to him for that. I'll never forget him. I'll never, ever forget what he has done for me. I don't think he realizes it. I've tried to tell him. He doesn't like that because he's not good like that. When I try to give him a compliment, he doesn't take compliments well. And I've tried to thank him, and he shrugs it off. But he needs to understand that I am sitting here today looking the way I look, feeling the way I feel, doing the things I'm doing, only because he was in my corner when I needed him the most. And that, for that in itself, never mind what CrossFit's done for me, there is no other affiliate I would ever consider. If I walked into another gym just to check it out, I would think I'm cheating. I just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable. I won't wear anybody else's shirts. This is it. This is the place for me. And what I've learned in this place through my struggles, that there is no excuses. If you want to get in shape and you want to change and you want to feel better and you want to look better and you want to function better, you just have to show up. That's what I learned. If I show up and I'm willing to do the work, as you guys know, I'm willing to put the work in, and I enjoy the work. I like the beatdowns. There is nothing greater than that feeling of that pain at the very end when the WOD is over and you can't breathe and your heart's on fire and you can't breathe and your body is just screaming. That's like the greatest hit of dope I've ever had in my life. I never thought that pain could feel that. I come here and you guys compliment me, push me, motivate me, help me, and when I strive and do better, I am egged on to do even better. And if I do better than you, it's not go fuck yourself, it's like awesome. And I've never been in a place like that where it's competitive but yet friendly. Caitlin coaches me right now. And I can tell you right now, Caitlin and Jessie coaches my mom. And the two of them, very similar in personalities. And I watch how Jessie works with my mom. My mom is 82 years old. And when she came here, she was very frail and she has a lot of issues. And Jessie patiently worked with her, and I watched how she works with her so carefully. And my mom is in the best shape she's ever been. She loves Jessie. She swears by it. She loves this place. She looks forward to her workouts. Due to health, she can't come here as much as she wants to, but when she misses this place, she's upset. Caitlin, I've never had such a cheerleader like Caitlin. Caitlin is the kind of person that I've watched and studied. Alex trained me in the beginning, and then Alex got very busy. Things were happening at the gym, and he was taking on a lot. He didn't have the time, from what I understood, and I understood because I'm not competing. So when I'm being trained, I'm trained because I want to make myself better, and I want to learn the technique so I don't hurt myself and get stronger. So with that being said, I actually asked Alex if it would be okay if I asked Caitlin to train because I felt bad. My loyalty lies with him, and he said not at all. So he said that would be a good fit. And I can tell you, I've been working with Caitlin, I think now for about 4, maybe a little more than 4 months. And I gotta tell you something, this woman, she's an extension of Alex. She's a female version of Alex. She has that same warmth about her, she's genuinely concerned. I'll shoot her some texts on my performances and she's like, yeah, way to go, awesome, keep it going. And but she means it. You know, I live in a world today that, you know, people are phony. They're not genuine. They just say what they say what they think you want to hear just to get you out of the way or get what they need so they can move on. The people here don't do that. The people here tell you things, they tell you truth. They encourage you in ways that I've never been encouraged before other than my fellowship that I belong to. I don't think you can find that somewhere else. I think that's the people. We talk about CrossFit as a community. Well, this is a perfect, you know, when I watch competition and I watch them talk about what CrossFit is, well, CrossFit of Boynton Beach is a definition of what true CrossFit is. If you want to talk about a model of what they're trying to accomplish, Alex has got it. He figured it out. It's not about having the prettiest gym. It's not about having the best equipment. It's not about being the biggest and the baddest. No, it's about being genuine. It's about being real. It's about putting the right people in the right places. So when you do show up and you want to do the work, they're there to push you forward so you want to come back. The key is it's not wanting to stay here, it's wanting to come back. It's when I leave here, I can't wait to get back. I can't wait till the next day. Even if I don't like the workout. And not for nothing, but CrossFit, how could you'll never get bored. It's always different. If you don't like the WOD, he's got 16 other different types of programming going on. He started in all this other stuff going. There is so much to do here that you can never get bored if you try. That's what got me to fitness, because I understood that fitness is not just to look good, but to feel good and to have, what's the word I'm trying to look for? My vocabulary is very limited. It's function. It's not all about how good I look or how heavy I can lift. Like working out in a gym is great if you want to look good and get big muscles and be good in a t-shirt or look good when you take your shirt off at the beach. That's not going to help me hang a cabinet. That's not going to help me unload my truck. That's not going to help me grab my kids and pick them up or go for a long walk with them or go out and play. That's not going to help me with that. CrossFit helps me with everything. Every movement we do here, I probably do 700 times in the real world. I never realized it until I did it here. And I'm like, all of a sudden I'm at work and I'm moving and I'm loading the truck. I'm treating it like a WOD. How fast can I get the truck loaded? I'm serious. In my mind, I got 60 seconds. Let's get the truck loaded. Take a minute, pause, and then another. And I'm attacking it that way. Not only that, but I vertically jump up and off my truck. I can jump up and down a ladder. I was doing some work at a client's house, running baseboard up a staircase, and he's watching me jump 3 steps at a time. I mean, moving like a gazelle. I never had grace like that. I am the clumsiest ox on the planet. For me to be able to do a handstand push-up or to move a weight with grace was unheard of. And there's so much technical here that it actually taught me to stop being so clumsy. Let's not get crazy. I'm still got 2 left feet. But I couldn't do a single under when I got here. I couldn't get the coordination to get a rope around me and jump at the same time. So in life itself, CrossFit, what it's done for me in the real world from where I was and where I am now, has opened up doors for me that I never experienced. My work, I can set a kitchen in a day, where it used to take me 3. Okay, I set a kitchen in a day and I still can come here and work out for 2 hours, go home, play with the kids, and still have that energy and move along. And remember, I'm 52 years old. I started this 5 years ago, so in my late 40s I started this. So there's another reason. You're never too old. My mom is 82 years old. She's doing CrossFit. At my age, the one thing I do look at in CrossFit other than the functionality, and what's important to me was before I had the surgery, I had gone for all these tests, and luckily my numbers were in line. I don't know how that was possible, but they were. But I was told I was a ticking time bomb. And I've watched people around me age, and they get sick, and then they rely on modern medicine to help them. I learned, and my philosophy is, I don't want to rely on modern medicine to help me. I want to be physically fit, so when the day comes that I do get sick, because listen, we're not all living forever. And I am going to get sick someday. I am going to get really sick someday. The only thing I want to make sure is my body's as strong as it can be, so then I can use modern medicine to aid my body so it can heal itself. That's what I get here. And at the age of 52, I don't take any medication. No blood pressure, no cholesterol, nothing. My blood work is on point. I eat normal. I don't eat a strict diet. I'll eat fatty proteins. I eat like a normal person. Listen, I got a sweet tooth. I love cookies and cake and ice cream. It's my favorite. And I can go on a binge. I've learned to tailor that and stay away from it. Other than that, if I want to eat fried chicken, if I want to go and have pizza, if I want to eat a hot dog, if I want to have onion rings or French fries, I can eat them. I can go have a Big Mac right now and not even think twice about it. And for me, that's very important because then I don't crave it. It doesn't matter. I don't eat it every day. I try to stay away from it because I know it's poison. So I choose not to indulge in that. But I live a normal life. I mean, I eat normal. There's nothing abnormal about what I do when I leave here. So if you come home and look at my refrigerator, it's not stocked with fruits and vegetables and clean proteins and lean. No, man, I eat. It's okay. At 52 years old, I've earned it. You know, I'm not a kid. If I was 25 years old and I wanted to compete, that's another story. But at 52, I've never felt so good. And I don't know about anybody else, but look, my joints ache. I get up in the morning and I make sounds I never made before. But I can tell you this, once I warm up in the day, I'm okay. I don't have back problems. I used to have a horrible back. I was told that when I was 35 years old, I had a back of a 75-year-old, lower back. I used to have chronic back pain like there was nobody's business. I just realized sitting here that I haven't had an issue with my lower back since I've been involved with CrossFit. I can't remember the last time I woke up and my back was out of whack. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And the only constant in my life that allows that is this. I'm doing this almost every day. I have friends of mine that are a little bit older than me. They say, you're going too hard, you're going to hurt yourself. And I'm like, you know what? No. In my eyes, and what because I'm a student of CrossFit. I love to study. Like, I watch competitions and I love watching the athletes perform. And the other thing I like about CrossFit, it's an individual effort. It's not team. I like the fact that you're out there. You put 110%, you're going to get 110% back. So what I study and I watch and I learn that if I know the technique and I know my limitations and I listen to the coaches and the ones that have the experience, chances of me getting hurt are slim to none. It's when I get that arrogance and I come in here and I'm a little tired, I'm a little off my game, and like yesterday we were doing a clean and jerk max, and I was tired. And I could have thrown maybe 205, 215 over my shoulder. I knew better. I knew my form wasn't on point because of what you guys have told me. So I backed off. That's okay. As long as I stay true to the sport and I listen to my coaches, chances of me getting hurt, I haven't been. The worst accident I had was my shoulder. Now, and to be honest with you, when I came into CrossFit, I had a bad shoulder to begin with. I was having physical therapy before. I was keeping it at bay. It was only a matter of time before that happened. But right now, I got nothing. And I'm here 5 to 6 days a week, and right now I'm doing 2 and 3 workouts a day. Because I want to lean. I want to see how lean I can get. I want to test myself and see how shredded up I can get. I want to enjoy that for once in my life, you know. But I will tell you this, I have never excelled at something in a sport like I have here. And I understand what it feels like to be a top athlete. I get that here.